Even before I received the new paper pack from Scrapworx, I had my projects planned. It was going to be a series about reminiscence. I received the paper pack and it's called Nostalgia. What a coincidence! Wow! Now I don't have to replan my art projects. What started my thought process was an article by Laura Hollig, an inspirational artist from Hamilton, where she prompted my thoughts with the following. If God or your conscience or a friend would ask you, where are you? Are you where you want to be, doing what you want to do? Why are you there? What would your answers be? That is what I want to reminisce about in my Scrapworx Nostalgia Paperback art projects. Enjoy the journey with me. Thinking about your art and making art with intention makes the projects mindful and meaningful. Nostalgia means a sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past, or something done or presented in order to evoke feelings of nostalgia. With the first project of 3, I'm going to focus on the number 9. My late dad used to say, remember, when you're in a group of people, 1 in 9 of them will know someone who knows you, your family, or a friend of yours. That is how small the world is. So always behave respectfully and well, so that you can be respected. Sometimes I wish I remitted to that warning much earlier in my life. I made mistakes. I was carefree and did think at one stage that I was untouchable. We are never too old to tap into the wisdoms gathered through our lives. Thank you, Dad. We're going to create a collection of 9 small artworks where we celebrate 9 important people in our lives, be that coffee friends, family members, colleagues, or long-lost acquaintances, as if they would ask you, where are you? A small ode to each of them to let them know we see them, appreciate them, and learn from them. Good morning, welcome to my 4th session with the Scrapworx paper collections. We're working with the Nostalgia Pack. I've done my intro on describing to you and explaining how I got to this project, working on cereal carton box again, as I am a person that likes recycling and upcycling and not wasting. I'm going to cut this into pieces and then paste them into my art journal. So I'm going to cut them in smaller squares. I need 9. I think I'm going to do 3 by 3, 4 by 4, or 5 by 5. I'm going to measure the page out and let you know. I get to be working with a booklet that is 20 by 20 centimeters this time. So I'm going to show you how I use it. I paged through my book and I decided to take out 1 of each page, as there are 2 of each, and I studied them and I set aside the 2 pages that has ephemera at the back that I'm going to use separately, so I'm not going to cut that up. The other ones are, and I've turned them in the direction where I'm willing to sacrifice 3 inches or less at the bottom of each page. I'm going to cut strips of 3 inches off each page and then we're going to work with that. I've made cards. I cut them from the cereal box 3 by 3 inches. That's what I could measure out for me to get 9. If I wanted less, I can make them bigger. If I wanted more, I can make them smaller. For purposes of this project, I need 9 squares, so I cut them 3 by 3. I'm going to cut black paper as a backing, a mat for mounting, and then I'm going to cut this. And every time I cut, I take off half, 2/8 of an inch. That's a 1/4 inch on each side, and then we'll have the little border. I have now cut 9 pieces, 3 by 3 inches, and I have selected 5 sheets from the 20 by 20 booklet, and I cut 2 and 3/4 pieces, 2 inches and 3/4 of an inch of the selected pages from the Nostalgia series, and I cut 4 pieces of just black paper, also 2 inches and 3/4 of an inch square. And there's my selection of ode cards to my friends and my tribe that I'm going to do. On these ones, I'm just going to add a word or a little something with or a coffee mug that's been cut, and on the printed papers, on the black papers, I'm gonna make the ephemeria from the Scrapworx Nostalgia series. I've got my list of people ready, what I want to do odes for, and what the theme will be about every person, because every person has their own unique character. I'm now going to write a little ode to all the people I selected to be part of my tribe, but I'm doing the first one, a little ode to my mom and dad. Just like that, I wrote, dearest dad and mum, thank you for everything you have taught me, sacrificed for me, and loving me all these years. I can never thank you enough. Love forever. It's just something small that you can write to each and every person that you want to honor in your 9-block collage. I have now written my little odes to each and every person or group of people that I wanted to honor. And as I went, I realized that I wanted to write up to the edges, because if you glue your mat onto the cardboard, all the writing disappears, and you want to remember later on who you did the odes for. So in some cases, I just wrote all around the edge, and in the middle, I wrote something for that person. We'll know with the notes that's bordering the card, which was done for which. Looking at this, I'm thinking of distressing or painting or doing something on the edges of the cardboard box before I glue down the mat. I'm gonna scratch through my media and see what I'm gonna do. I've decided to go back to my new color crayons, water solubles. I think it's the least messy and the easiest, and then I've got more options. So I'm gonna select from this colors that correspond with the Nostalgia series, and I'm going to alternate between them. The teals, blues and greens. Maybe I can use that one. So let's go with this color combination. I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the edge. Blend it with the finger, and then I'm going to add a little bit matte medium just to activate the color and make it permanent. If you don't activate the color, it is water soluble and it will react. There you go. And it becomes a more translucent also. And you can still read what was written there to each and every person. And if you now apply that card, it's a little bit nicer, if you can see. Adding double-sided tape to the back side. I have now double-sided tape glued the pieces together, and I just want to show you, I wrote the names at the back, because when I was down the line with 3 cards and I looked back, I couldn't remember and I couldn't figure out to which the ode was written, so to who. So I wrote the names at the back for no particular reason other than when I put my decorations and ephemeria, I want to remember on whose card I'm working. The ones I want to focus on more are the ones with the black cards, and there's no particular reason that someone has a black mat or a colored mat, but the black ones we're going to put in some more effort, whereas with the ones that's nostalgia paper, we're just going to add a word or a pre-cut chipboard something, but we're going to have to make these black ones more interesting. So I'm going to work more on those, but let me get my words together. I'm going to start making my decisions, looking and staring at this Scrapworx chipboard cutouts that was given to me. It complements and goes together with the nostalgia paper pack. I think I'm going to use most of the wording on this. Will have to be painted, stamped or distressed. Let me first see what is going to go where. I've gone through my cutouts and my in the nostalgia paper pack, the ephemeria that might be used, and I've roughly planned each little thingy that was put here has got meaning towards that special person that the card was made with. I'm gonna paint and glue and attach and cut some more. If there's anything that I think in the process that's a good tip for you, I will switch back on the camera, but from here on I'm going to mainly work offline so that we can see where we get to. my journal and I've placed the cards on a page, and I looked at the spacing that I want and the placement, which card goes where. Then I used a ruler and a pencil to mark out the areas that I want to decorate on and the areas that I want to leave blank. These 9 cards are being used in the market in different ways. People mount them on wood and make a key holder, or they frame them and hang the framed odes somewhere. I'm going to put it in my journal. It doesn't make them less important. And so I'm going to decorate only these edges of my pages in a fashion that suits the nostalgia paper pack. So I'm going to grab a piece of masking tape and then I'm going to mask off the area where I should stop painting. I've decided for now I might change to keep the borders in between white. I'm not sure, but for now I'm going to do some art journaling background decorations on the outside border of these cards. I'm going to stick with the color combination of the nostalgia paper pack, and I'm going to see what paint suits that. While I was waiting for this page to dry completely, I'll stare it again, and I thought I'm going to add a little border here where the 2 backgrounds meet, and maybe just to outline that. And I also found the sticker borders that I've got in my stash, and maybe I'll use them. I'll see, but for now I'm going to cut narrow borders of this nice paper and then outline this block. Okay ladies, I think I'm there. I just want to show you a close-up if I can. I've added the borders that I've cut here with double-sided tape, and then there on top I've added the lacy sticker border. I've now packed my cards in the order that I want them, and I think that's the project. I'm going to glue down the cards with double-sided tape, and then I'll take close-up pictures, and I'm there. I hope you get what I try to do. That's important. It's again not about the outcome. It's a page in my art journal where I honored people that is currently very much a part of my life. Yes, and I chose to put it in my journal. Some people hand it out to the people who they created the ode for, but to me, I will tell them that if they watch my video, they will see that there was an ode done to them. If they don't, I will tell them that they were honored. But I'm keeping them to myself, and I'm putting it in my journal, not on a wall, not in a picture frame. And I might repeat this project because there are some more people that I want to honor in this way. Thank you for watching.